Yo, what's going on, everybody? Thank you so much for clicking on this video. The NFL draft just happened, and today I'm going over my veteran winners from that. I just uploaded my rookie winners and losers, so if you haven't seen that, make sure to go check it out. Like I said, today going to be going over the actual veteran winners from here. Going to be going over the winners for the running back, wide receiver, and quarterback position. Not really any big tight end winners from this draft. I guess maybe Mark Andrews if you consider Lamar Jackson re-signing. But besides that, going to be going in that order. Make sure you drop a like on this video, though. It really helps out a ton. Also, subscribe to the channel to see a bunch more content that I got coming for the off season. And yeah, let's get right into it. All right. So one of the winners that I have is going to be DeAndre Swift. I don't know if people really agree with this. Obviously, on actual draft night, he was one of the biggest losers because Jahmyr Gibbs got drafted, but then he got traded to the Philadelphia Eagles, where I think he's really going to have opportunity to kind of become who he could have been. There's not a ton of competition there. They got people like Kenneth Walker, Boston Scott, and Rashad Penny, who they just signed. I guess Rashad Penny a little bit of competition, but they play very different roles, so I think that he's going to be just fine. I still don't think that he is going to be that top 10, top 5 running back that some of us really hoped he could have been, but I think he definitely still has the possibility to be probably a top 15, maybe top 20 running back, just given his efficiency, because he doesn't need a ton of touches to really be good. If he can stay healthy and he's a part of this offense, I think it will really open up a lot of things for him. Now, another big winner that I have is going to be Dameon Pierce. Yes, I know that Devin Singletary is there. I know that he got signed by them and he's definitely going to eat into somewhat of his workload, but regardless, they did not draft a running back at all. Not a 7th round, on a 6th round. They did not draft a running back whatsoever, which means they are good with what they got. They're good with Devin Singletary. They're good with Dameon Pierce. So it's really going to be only them two, and you're going to need more than one running back to service a backfield nowadays. So the fact that it's just them, I think that Dameon Pierce will win that job and be the starter there, and he will be really good coming forward. So I've definitely seen the conversation on both ends. I think overall Dameon Pierce is absolutely a winner. Maybe not as big as some people are talking about him, but overall for what could have happened and what people were projecting to happen, I think he's got to be a winner. Another situation kind of similar, not totally, but Ramondre Stevenson, also another winner. They also did not draft a running back, so it's just going to be Ramondre Stevenson going forward. There were even some rumors of them taking Bijan Robinson or Jahmyr Gibbs. Obviously, that wasn't really even a possibility because they got drafted before their pick, but they didn't draft anyone, so this is all Ramondre's job. Also, if you forgot, Damian Harris left, so the only people really there are Pierre Strong and Kevin Harris. So I think that Ramondre Stevenson, another massive winner. You'll see another trend here with the running backs that it's all kind of the same situation where there were people that they could have been replaced by, but they just weren't. So the next guy I want to talk about, another massive winner, going to be Isaiah Pacheco. There's definitely concern that they were going to draft someone just given the fact that he was a 7th round pick last year, and they ended up not taking a single person. So the whole backfield now is going to be him, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and they did re-sign Jerick McKinnon. So basically the same backfield they had last year. But I think that Isaiah Pacheco will probably be the lead back there, just given what we saw last year. And the fact that I did not try to replace him whatsoever just means that he's going to be the back going forward. So I think another guy, huge winner overall. And the last running back I want to talk about, who I haven't really seen a lot of conversation about, but James Conner, I also think is a winner. Arizona was definitely someone I could have seen taking a running back a little bit later in the draft, and they didn't. So that means that the running backs there are going to be James Conner and Keontae Ingram, and an offense that it should be good once everyone is healthy. So I think that they just really trust James Conner, and he's just going to get a ton of workload. If you don't remember at the end of last year, he was really good down the stretch once he was actually healthy. So as long as James Conner can stay healthy, he should be the lead back here, and he should be really good for fantasy. All right, moving on to the quarterbacks, because these are the only other real winners I have. One of the biggest winners overall going to be Lamar Jackson. Now, obviously, he signed his deal the morning of the draft, so that's a huge W for him. Beyond that, they drafted Zay Flowers in the 1st round. So he added weapons for them. J.K. Dobbins is going to be healthy. Mark Andrews will be healthy. Rashad Bateman will be healthy. They signed Odell Beckham Jr. Just this free agency, the draft, everything overall has been just a massive W for Lamar Jackson, and he should be absolutely dynamic next year as long as he can stay healthy. Hopefully he can be. Now that he's got some money in his pocket, I think he should be a little bit more incentivized, but he has all the weapons possible. By far the best receiving core he's ever had in his career. So another massive winner is going to be Lamar Jackson. Similar to him, a winner that I have is going to be Geno Smith. Obviously, with the 1st round pick, they took Jackson Smith and Jigba, who is probably, I think he's for sure the best wide receiver in this class. And then in the 2nd round, they took Zach Charbonnet, who was a really, really good running back that they probably don't need him, but the fact that he has him, I don't like it for Zach Charbonnet or Kenneth Walker, but for Geno Smith, it's a massive W. Just more weapons for him, going to be able to take away more pressure. He's a much better pass catcher than Kenneth Walker, so that'll definitely help out a lot. Overall, Geno Smith got to be a massive winner. Now that's receiving core is going to be DK Metcalf, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Tyler Lockett, Zach Charbonnet, and Kenneth Walker. I mean, those are arguably the best weapons in the NFL. The next quarterback is going to be Daniel Jones. He got Jalen Hyatt, who I think is the type of wide receiver that they need. And so the fact that they got Jalen Hyatt, they signed, or I guess traded for Darren Waller. They also have Wan'Dale Robinson coming back. And then they drafted Eric Gray, who is a really good running back. They drafted him as the backup for Saquon. So if they need somebody to back him up when he gets hurt or just spell him, they got another weapon who they can trust. So I think they did the right things for Daniel Jones. And this free agency has just been really good for him. He also got paid. So overall, I think that Daniel Jones, another big winner. You can kind of see the same thing with running backs, all have the same situations. Quarterbacks are all the same situations. I got Kyler Murray as another big winner for the next guy. The Cardinals drafted the best lineman in the draft for him, so he should be a lot more protected. They also got a decent wide receiver later in the draft for him. They did not trade D-Hop, which I think is kind of one of the main things for him. I think the offensive tackle and the fact that D-Hop will still be there, and now they'll have an actual legit receiving core of DeAndre Hopkins, Rondell Moore, Marquise Brown, Michael Wilson, Zach Ertz, just everyone they have. I think that this was a good draft for them and kind of exactly what they need. They really need to protect Kyler, so this is going to be good for him, and I think that he's another small winner. And the last guy I want to talk about, I think one of the real big winners is going to be Jordan Love. I think this one's pretty obvious. They used a second-round pick on Jaden Reed, so he's going to have another possession wide receiver that can make easy receptions for him. They also drafted tight end in the second round, Luke Musgraves, so another big body for easy receptions. And then they also spent a third-round pick on another tight end in Tucker Kraft. So more protection, more receiving options. They already have Christian Watson. They have Aaron Jones. They have Romeo Doubs. They just have all the weapons possible for Jordan Love. So they've really given him every possibility to succeed. So at this point, if he doesn't, it's really just on him, which I think is kind of exactly what they wanted. They wanted to make his life as easy as possible as he transitions. And I think they did a pretty good job at that. They definitely could have spent a first-round pick on one of these weapons, but that's just not how they do it. I think, though, that this is a good second plan for them. These are the main winners that I have overall. I think really only the running back and quarterbacks were super affected. Let me know if there's any other guys that I left off this list, any wide receivers or tight ends that I didn't mention here. The last video in this series should be coming out soon. It's going to be the losers of the veterans, so stay tuned for that, and I'll see you guys in that one. Later.